Welcome to Talk to Connect. This is where we share our stories to inspire and empower each other to grow. Our guest today is an amazing lady with such an amazing story. Rana is from Lebanon. She has 26 years of professional experience in Lebanon and UAE. Now, she's a personal leadership expert, where she uses her passion to help women who are in challenging situations to find their true essence and become leaders in life.
Okay, Rana, thank you so much for accepting to share your stories on our platform. Your story is going to inspire someone who feels like she's stuck. She doesn't know where to take her life. Because when I heard your story, I was so inspired, and you've going through such a journey to being an entrepreneur right now. It will be our honor if you share your stories. And I met you in Start at the Top, Ken and Alicia program, and I was inspired. So I think there's someone out there who's just waiting to hear that story to be inspired and start and take a step to a new life. So if you would share your story and introduce yourself a little bit.
Thank you, Fatma. Thank you for this great introduction. And yes, I would like to speak to every single woman out there who is feeling she cannot do it, she's stuck, she doesn't see any light at the end of the tunnel, and she wants to move forward and do something different in her life. And actually, I'm here to share my story. I grew up in Lebanon. I grew up during the war period, and it was very tough to be in the shelter, to be sometimes afraid, not having any hope that I would survive another day, hearing the bombardment, no electricity, sometimes no water, sometimes no food. All of this really was hard experience. At the same time, alhamdulillah, I survived, and I was able to pursue my education, and I got my degree, and I decided to get married from a young man. He's my colleague at university, and we decided to leave Lebanon because there were no opportunities for us to be able to get married and build a home. So we thought we go to Dubai, and only we had our degrees, and we had a big dream to come back one day and build a home in Lebanon.
That's an amazing story. So how was it, Jen? So you went through this journey from war to coming to Dubai and just having a degree and having a dream to make a house. So now you're an entrepreneur. How did you get yourself to come from this woman who came to Dubai with the uncertainty of what you're going to do to just wanting a house to becoming a successful entrepreneur and doing such amazing thing, empowering and leading women to find their purpose in life?
And actually also I started my career I'm a graduate of business, so what the first thing you think of, you go to the banking sector. It's a reputed job for women because she has a family, she will have kids. But then I realized after 5 years in the banking sector that this is not for me. I have bigger dreams, bigger hopes. I want to see myself. I was aiming to be a manager. I could see that. And when I told somebody, said, "You fresh graduate, you want to be managers?" I said, "In 5 years, I will be there." And alhamdulillah, in 5 years, I was a manager in a very reputed organization in Johnson & Johnson, Medical Middle East. A great opportunity, a very reputed job and big opportunity for me to grow and develop my skills. And from there, there was a point where if I want to pursue this lovely career and grow further, it would be at the expense of my family. And this was a turning point in my life where I had to decide, is it my career or is it my family, or is there anything in between those? So this, I think so many women do feel at one point in their life, what do I want to do? And
yeah. It's amazing. You said two important things in here. You said about you believing in yourself, and like that's amazing that you had this faith. In 5 years, I become a manager. So before we go to you leaving your job and becoming a housewife from a manager, let me just understand this part of belief. And I think a lot of people miss that point of believing in yourself. What was that turning point? What was that thing that helped you believe in yourself so much? Because a lot of us don't have that courage to believe in ourselves, and I think it's amazing that you had this notion. Okay, I believe in myself. In 5 years, I'm gonna be a manager. So, what gave you that courage to have that faith in yourself so much?
Yeah, you know, I remember when I started my job, they wanted to give me little of information so I cannot grow, and my colleague was saying. He was afraid that I will take his job, but I was aiming much more than this. I believed in my resources, and I believed if I can learn something, I want to learn it quick, and I want to move forward. And I had a vision, and I think I was dreaming about that day where I'll become a manager. You have to have a vision. You cannot just go and play small and just think, okay, I'll just take the job. Everybody around me was saying, you know, you need time to become a manager. You know, in the banking sector, it takes you years. Yeah, this is their belief. But you know what? The key point, I didn't take that belief. I didn't believe what they believe is true. You have to have your own belief and just what's true for you. That, yeah, if I believe it will take years for me to become a manager, I would not have be where I am today.
Wow, that's amazing. I think most of us don't have vision, and that's one thing I love about what you're saying. That's a lot of us want to become something that even we cannot see. Like you want to become successful, but you don't vision yourself to become that. And visualizing yourself becoming that thing that's very powerful. And you also talk about community, and I think we all are affected by what people believe about us. So you talk about this, and I want to ask you about something about culture. Because culture is one thing that really holds people back to become, kill our beliefs and kill who we want to be. So how did you fight that culture notion of, oh, you're a woman, you cannot do this and you cannot do that, to be able to stand out to be who you are right now?
I'll tell you, just like the key point is to believe in your own resources and to believe what is true about you.
You said something about belief in people and how people make you not believe in your dreams, and you really didn't listen to them. And this brings me to the question of culture. I think a lot of our dreams are broken by the culture that we're living in. As you're a woman, you should not do this or you should not do that. Or our culture really limits our belief for us to see that vision that we want. So how were you able to break that cycle of culture to just become Rana and put yourself there?
Yeah, actually, from day one, I had my intuition to say just like, okay, I reached a point where I don't want the banking sector, even though everybody was saying, you know, it's great, it's a great job. And they would say also, you cannot leave your job, you cannot leave your career, you have spent 5 years. I said, I prefer to let go of 5 years or spending my whole year in something I would not like, I don't enjoy, I don't love it. But then there was a struggle, of course, like, okay, so if this is the track for a woman who starts in business, she goes to, let's say, the banking. This is how I was
Saying yourself?
Yeah, no, just how people would say, okay, this is the track for you. You take a job in the banking, it's a good career, you come back at 2, you can be with your kids, okay, and then you stay, this is it. And then you can be a manager in 20 years. Yes, but this is not the track that I saw for myself. This is what people would like. It's just important to ask yourself, and then what's true for me? This was not true for me. Something was telling me I have to move, I have to go for something that I'm passionate about. Even though it was not that clear at that moment, but I went in a very challenging job to travel around the world and just travel from one country to another, do training programs for people from different regions, and it was a beautiful experience.
Okay, that's amazing. So I want to understand from that experience that you're saying, what was the turning point that really made you say, okay, now I need to become a housewife? And I think this is the most difficult thing that women, as if you're working, to choose, to decide, my job and my family, and it's actually women who are working are having this hard time. My job is important, but my family is important. Should I keep my job? Should I? What was that turning point? What actually just like, okay, I'm leaving this amazing job where I'm traveling around the world and I'm going to be a housewife?
Okay, great question, and I'll be very, very honest for every woman who may have been in that situation. Actually, there was a point where I just delivered my second baby. He's a newborn, and I get a call that there are restructuring in the company, and they need to reduce the number of staff. And between me and another man who was able to travel and continue traveling, okay, they found that I'll be the one that I'll be out. At that moment, it was really drastic for me. But then after a while, it was a blessing for me. This because maybe at that point I wouldn't have taken personally that courage or that decision to really move after. The highlight of my career was there. At the same time, I knew I was struggling. Okay, how can I leave two kids and a newborn, and how can I manage going to the office and leaving him at home? But this gave me it was a trigger to make me reflect. Yes, okay, I'm sitting now at home. How can I enjoy being at home with my kids? And for me, before that point, I was thinking, I cannot be at home. I am not this woman who will be with her kids and spend her day cooking and taking care of the kids. And I think so many women will relate to that.
Yeah, definitely.
But this was the first time I enjoyed being that woman who has all the time for herself. I didn't used to take care of myself. I was always in the suit, being in the corporate world. And finally, I got the chance to go to the salon, to take care of my beauty, to have time with my kids, to enjoy my breakfast, my lunch, cooking for them, and being around them when they are growing. And I've never felt the same with my first daughter. And I got to enjoy, and I felt I missed a lot at that moment. But for me, my career was taking all the highlight. And so I said, okay, no, now my family is important. And yet I got to another stage where I said, okay, I'm enjoying being a mom and being with my kids. At the same time, I want to build something for myself. Because I want to be fulfilled. I don't want to stay with my kids with all the anger, or it's like I'm sacrificing for them. I'm here only for them, and what about you?
Okay, that's very important. And I think as women, whether you're a working mother, whether you're a housewife, there's a part where we forget to ask ourselves, what about me? What do I give myself? And I think that's a journey that every woman should go and find your purpose or your reason to be who you are, finding yourself. So, an interesting story. So you went to find yourself and find who's Rana, and it led you to becoming an entrepreneur. So how was that journey? Because you see, a lot of people feel like it's not meant for me. I cannot be a businesswoman. I'm just a housewife. I need to ask for money from my husband. I cannot do it. Or I don't have the resources. I am not coming from a background that people have been doing business. And I think this is when we talk about belief. It's like, I'm born in Africa. I'm born in Lebanon. There was a fight. How did you get the courage, the build yourself again from being at home for a long time and taking that step? Okay, now I'm going to be a businesswoman. And how did you get to find your clarity and the purpose of what you wanted to do in life?
Actually, there was a transition, because at the beginning I said, okay, I will never go back to corporate. I would like to do something that I always dreamt of, to become a professor at university. This is what I dreamt, so I'll spend that time. So I went and taught marketing courses at American University of Dubai, And I really enjoyed that experience. I was fulfilling something, and I was earning some money, but I was just only a part-timer. So this was the transition. I would be with my kids, I will go for a few hours, teach, and come back. And then afterwards, I went to another stage where I was a consultant for a company, a market consultant. So I was using my expertise. At the same time, I have the flexibility to be with my kids when they have events, parent-teachers meeting. I'm there for them. If they are sick, I'll be there. So after that, I managed for a while also a company for one of my friends. And then I decided it's time to do something for myself, and I ventured into my own company. I established a company into recruiting and consultancy, and I was very happy. This again, it was another highlight of my career, to be able not to work for others, to just do something for yourself and invest all this expertise in building something for me and maybe something for my kids. This was another journey. And in that journey, I got to know about coaching.
Okay. Wow, interesting. So you've had such an experience, and congratulations for that, because I think you went to so many paths. So I know the path to finding yourself is really challenging, and I think I've been there, like failing again and again. As your journey was of success, mine was of a lot of failures, and I think I went to a point where I felt like, okay, I really have bad luck, because I keep on failing in everything that I do. But as you said, until when you find the purpose that you want, and I think a lot of people don't go deeper to find their purpose. Yeah. I think when you find your purpose is what makes you push yourself to work. So you went to coaching, and it helped you to become this entrepreneur. So what did coaching do to you actually? Because I think a lot of people miss this. For me, I feel like the most powerful part to work on, and which worked for me, is mindset. It's like when your mindset is clear of what you want, you get to be who you want to be. So tell us your journey in coaching, and how did it help you to have this mindset? Because I think you are here because your mindset is really, whenever I talk to you, I just hear you have this mindset of determination to be where you want to be.
Actually, I started my journey in coaching in 2007, and just like I wanted to have it as a profession, but what I learned, I'm doing it for myself, to learn more about myself. And it was the first time I take those type of courses, and I got hooked into that course, and I kept moving forward, and I got excited again about relationship and team coaching, and then I went into NLP, and you cannot stop. Once you are in that journey, you want to move more and more. If you're choosing to go deeper and deeper,
yes,
this is a choice. And then another shift again, and another transition. In 2009, they had dreamed to come back, to move back to Lebanon, and I had to again move to Lebanon and start all over again.
Okay.
And in Lebanon, like, it was very hard because I've been away. My kids were born in Dubai, and at that time, I didn't want them to live what I lived during the war. But yet the situation was really challenging. I would ask my kids to take the same route to the school, so in case something happened, I know where to find them. Sometimes they will be born next to my house, sometimes next to their school. We went through a lot of challenges, but I think we went back to just the reality of things, of being poor people on the street, of like having no electricity, of really the real life, where people get happy, people are born, people are sad. You know, this is what makes really the reality of life.
Sure.
Even though it has challenges.
Sure.
And during that time, it was going well, and I decided to enroll in a program about communication and relationship, and it was in French, and I really love it to reconnect to the French language, and everything seems to be okay. But I was at that time the active woman and the busy mom who drive all the time the kids to their activity, to their friend. She attends the parents teachers meeting, she cooks meals, and then she tried to find something for herself of doing like a session, a coaching session. And one day again, another shift and another turning point in my life.
Okay, interesting. So coaching twisted your life to another point, and you said something like another mom, busy schedule of taking your children to school, attending meetings, and I think again we come to the point where mothers or women put themselves in everything, and they forget that they have to go back and to themselves and find out, okay, what I'm all this, but who am I, or what do I want, to find that peace of mind. So what was that shift?
That shift that I was moving, as you said, very fast. That busy mom, like so many moms who may be hearing me now. And I was preparing the meal for my kids, and suddenly with one drop of water, I slipped on the floor, and what I didn't expect, that I end up with a surgery. I had a broken elbow in my right hand, and overnight, my whole life changed. I cannot drive. I was most of my time in my car. I was not able to eat. I was not able to get dressed. I was just totally dependent on everybody to take care of me. I was the one who takes care of everybody, and now I need them all. And I had to go during that year through 3 surgeries, but it gave me this challenging experience, gave me time to reflect, to slow down, to come to a pause. And these challenging times give us time to really reflect on what's important for us, on what are we doing, and where I am in this whole formula, taking care of everybody and forgetting about myself. And I reached to a point where I was really on medication. I was not able to take care of my kids, and I was even forgetting what I ate in the morning. So when I reached that point, I was on tramal. And I decided one day, I woke up and I said, no more. I'm taking charge of my life. I cannot continue like this. And it's a choice. Either I can continue playing the victim, this happened to me, I cannot do anything, I'm stuck at home, I cannot even read, write, whatever. And then I said, okay, even though I cannot use my right hand, but I have my brain, I have my mindset, I can shift it, I can really look at things differently and look about what's good about the situation. It was good to take me back into a journey to build a healthier relationship with myself.
That is amazing. And I that is a really amazing thing, and just to decide to take your life into your own control, to be in control, because when you're in a victim mode, we always complain of what is happening. It happened because, and you just decided to take ownership. It's my life. I'm going to become what I want to become. And one amazing point you said is having gratitude. And that's something that most of us don't see. We see the bad things that are happening to us. I am poor. I don't have a beautiful house. I don't have a car. But we don't see the amazing people around us, the blessings. Like you had blessings of people who are taking care of you. And when you look at those blessings, you realize that you have everything. You just need to put your willpower to be the person that you want. So there's someone out there who is, you come from Lebanon, I come from Africa. And I think there's a lot of people who really feel they were born on the wrong side of the world. I am poor, I was born on the slums. I don't know what I can do with my life. I am lost. I cannot start a business. What would you advise someone who feels, especially a woman who feels like, because of where I was born or where I am right now, I cannot turn my life around?
It's a great and powerful statement. Actually, for me, I believe whatever happens to me, it's God putting me into an experience for me to learn something. And I needed that experience to really to that extent of breaking my elbow and being hospitalized and going through 3 surgeries, because there is a lesson that I needed to learn. I needed to learn really. I've never thought before that accident that with a drop of water I can have a broken leg. I couldn't, before that incident, I was not able to appreciate that because of that movement I'm able to eat and the spoon will reach to my mouth. The spoon was reaching there because of just simple fracture. The whole system, I was taking for granted that my hand would move. I was taking for granted that I can write. I was taking all these blessings for granted. And it was the first time I get to reflect how blessed I am to have my elbow moving. I stayed here like a whole year in pain, doing physiotherapy, because I never thought, like, what a blessing. And all of this, we take them for granted. So I would say, whatever happens to you, just do not blame it on the country, on the government, because that's my bad luck, I'm born there. Even the war, it's not a pleasant experience. But I think living through these hardships made me who I am today as a woman who can really face challenges. I went through difficult time. Yes, it affected me. I was traumatized by the war. Yes, like so many other people were traumatized by other things or by war. But I cannot keep blaming others. I just accept that I needed to pass. This is what's meant to be for me to learn patience, to learn appreciation, to learn to surrender to what God is offering me in terms of opportunity, because each experience, despite its challenges, it's an opportunity for me to come close to God, to appreciate those small things that He gave me. I never say thank you. I would say thank you every day, but did I say thank you that I have hands that moves? Did I say thank you, God, that I can see today, that I can smell the beautiful roses, that I can taste the nice food that my mom or I'm preparing to my kids? We just take all of these for granted and just take charge and accept that whatever happens to you is a blessing.
That is amazing. That is true. And I believe if you have gratitude and see the good in everything that is happening to you, because most of us just see the negative. I don't have this, I don't have that. But we have a lot of things that are a blessing to us. And if we talk in terms of fortune, some people have a lot of money but they are not happy. And you cannot have something and you're very happy because you have beautiful people around you. So you're right when you say you need to be grateful in everything that you have in your life, because that shows you the beauty of life. And I also agree to the fact that your journey is what defines you. So whatever happens to your life, my failures in so many things put me in a situation where I decided I need to find who I am. I need to find the deeper purpose of my life. To be sitting here today and saying, I want to empower someone else to find her journey. If I didn't fail, then I would not see, or I'll not see the beauty of trying to empower someone else. So you're very right. What would you define Rana if I tell you in one sentence? Who is Rana? Just one sentence.
One sentence. I'm passionate, loving, caring, and determined woman.
Wow, I love that. She's passionate, and that's the power of it. You might not have the resources to be who you want to be, but your passion will really push you where you want to be, and that's, she's a living example. She lives with her passion wherever it takes you. And determination, and I think that's what a lot of people don't have. A lot of people are not consistent, and they're not determined that this is what I want. I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna be disappointed, I'm gonna face challenges, but if this is my passion, I'm gonna put myself out there and I'm gonna do it. and that's really defines you from your story and everything that you've said. Thank you so much for sharing that. So Rana, you do a lot of things to help women, and I would really like you to share with the women here, because someone is listening and gonna go like, okay, how can I reach her? I think your story is powerful to women. So you do a lot of programs and a lot of things that you do for women. Would you mind to share some of the programs and the things that you do and support women to become powerful and grow in their journey?
Yeah, actually I'm planning to do my webinar where I introduce a new perspective or a different perspective for 2021.
Okay.
And also I would like to offer my program about women's leadership and the personal leadership, how you take charge of your own life.
Okay.
And also I have other programs about improving communication, whether at home, at work. I would like really to share all my knowledge and my expertise in relationship and help you build a foundation for really growing and maintaining healthy relationship, and at the same time letting go of toxic relationship in your life.
That is amazing. I think a lot of people need that, and
Yeah.
you're doing it. That's an amazing job. I think there's a lot of people who don't know how to let go.
Yeah.
They really don't know how to let go of toxic relationship, toxic things, and they hold on to them because maybe they're in comfort zone or they're in fear. And I think as a woman, with your experience and the knowledge, a lot of women need to be empowered. And I think you're doing such a great job, and I'm so glad that we have you here. And you're welcome to, if people want to, a woman who's there who feels, okay, I want to be, I think, as you said, you go about coaching, and one thing I can say is when you have the right people to guide you to change your mentality, and they have the right way to show you how to build yourself, you always find your uniqueness and your purpose. And we both have gone through that. So someone out there might want to reach you or would like to know more about your programs. How do we reach you if we really, or someone is interested in your program, letting go of toxic relationship or communication or growing as a woman and becoming a better person?
If you want, like what I will do, I can share my website, and I can share my Facebook page on your platform.
Yes.
And also I'll be sharing my programs with the dates on it.
So we're having a webinar coming soon, so you would like to welcome, because I know there's a lot of women on my platform who would really like to hear more from you.
Okay, for 28 December, I'll be holding a free webinar. You're welcome to join to learn more about the process of how you can build a different perspective for 2021, given that 2020 was really challenging for most of us, for most of you. We need to start fresh. We need to have a different vision and move forward so we can really move on a solid ground.
Yeah, that is so nice. So I want to welcome you for joining us today and sharing such an amazing story. And I think whoever's watching here has so much that we've learned. Our takeaways today is like, you need to have a vision for your life, you need to be determined, and you need to believe in yourself. If you don't believe, you don't get to do what you want. And I'm so happy that you joined us today, and I hope you will join the webinar to learn more of her program. She has such an amazing story and such an amazing journey that she's gone through to be sitting here and being in this position that she is in. We're welcoming you, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for